What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a 6600 XT running on Ethereum. So I was able to get one of these 6600 XTs. As you guys can see in the top right corner, it's running. This is the HellHound box, and then you have the card running there. It has some cool blue lights on it. Now I was able to get into this computer, but the only thing I cannot do is use the AMD software to control it. So we're gonna go over a couple of things and I'll show you the card mining. But on stock hash rate, the 6600 XT, I have the HellHound one. It was doing 28.48 megahash right here, and it was taking 90 watts on it. So that's great. That's a little bit higher than the 1616s supers or TIs before they were overclocked, but 90 watts is awesome. Now what we did with the overclock, so what I did for the overclocks is I did change the max frequency to 1400. I changed the voltage all the way down to 762. So basically I just buried it down. Memory I did put on 2300 as it states here. And then the power limit I put down to -3. That's the only one that I saw that it did anything as is. And then if you guys can see it up here running, there it goes, now it's moving. It's doing about 33.6 megahash at 54 watts. 54 watts, so 6600 XT is doing 33 megahash on 54 watts. This is destroying my 1616 supers and TIs. My 1616 super runs at 31.8 megahash at 72 watts plus the riser and everything else, and 1616 Ti at 30.8. This one's running 33 megahash, about 54 watts plus the riser. I think it's taking about 65 watts, completely doing more than the 1660s in less hash rate. This is absolutely amazing. So for the next couple, so that's Ethereum, guys. We'll leave that. We're gonna put ETH up here. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm just gonna leave the same settings. All right, guys. Before we get into Raven, I also wanted to do Ethereum Classic just to see if it does anything differently. Let me make this full screen. So this is on Ethereum Classic. I'm using same settings. Max frequency 1400, voltage all the way down to 762, VRAM tuning 2300, and -3 on the power limit. It's running about 44C. I have it set on 60. Maybe it's too loud for you guys, but let me apply this. Hit enter. This is my first time using this. 6600 is my first AMD card. This is a learning curve for me. I had a lot of hard time trying to get Raven coin going. I got that finally going. But if you guys look on here, it's doing about 3276, 3236. Why is it falling off now? Let me change the frequency to 1500. Maybe that has something to do with it. Now I ran 1400 for Ethereum, 1500 for Ethereum Classic because I was setting it up for Raven, and for some reason looks like it dropped it. Whoa. Okay, there it goes. There it is, 3301. It goes just over 3310 for me, and it's pulling 53 watts as well. Ethereum was pulling 53 watts as well, but it does spike up to 54 plus the riser, maybe 10 to 12 watts. I'm assuming it's about 65 watts to be exact for it, but it's pulling 53 watts on a 1616 Ti and 6016 Super. It pulls anywhere from 70 to 72 watts plus the riser. I'm assuming 10 to 12 watts, so it's actually doing 85 watts, but about 70 to 72 in the system. This is about 16 to 18 less in the system. So all right, here it goes, 3309. It's jumping up and down a little bit. I'm not sure why. I have the same settings. It says 53 watts in here. I'm just gonna let it run a little bit more. I got it as high as I think 3318. I'm just gonna let it run a little bit longer. See, it just hops down 3285. Then we have 3309. I'm gonna do one more and then we'll change it up to 3309. Not sure why it hops on Ethereum Classic up and down a little bit, but on Ethereum it was 3301 to 3307, I believe it was. Alright, we're just gonna leave it alone. So we're gonna close this. And then for Ravencoin, I had to do Team Red Miner. I was recording, trying all the different ones, but I had to do Team Red Miner for Ravencoin. Let me give me up. Okay, so that's gonna work too. We'll do a test for Ergo as well at the end of this. Okay, give me a bunch of cross ULP, blah blah blah. It gives me a lot of errors with this card. I don't think it's my settings or anything like that. But let's go over the settings for Ravencoin. So basically I'm leaving everything the same, but the only difference from Ethereum that I did was I upped the max frequency to 1500. I'm still gonna leave the power tuning down to -3, and then memory is the same, voltage the same. I don't want to change anything. So from what I figured out for Ravencoin, you guys are going to hear me typing a little bit, I do apologize. So what I saw for Ravencoin on stock settings that I did not include in this video, for stock settings on Ravencoin, it was running about 15.5 mega hash. It was doing almost 100 on the power consumption and a lot on the riser as well. So I'm assuming it was doing about 140, 150 watts at the full power limit on it, and it was doing about 15.5. Now what I did is I backed it off all the way down to the basically Ethereum settings, gave it a little more frequency. For the power tuning I went -3, left it all the same. It does run a little bit hotter, as you guys can see here, about 45. General temperature is 49. It will keep going up a little bit while we are recording, but here, let's look at it now. We're getting 16.8, 16.7, and it is 64 watts in the program. So I'm assuming about 80 watts in the actual, if we count the riser and everything else. So we're gonna put down 64 in the program, and then we're gonna do about 15 watts plus for the riser. Guys, when you look at this, whatever the says in the program, you're actually adding more for the riser, especially if you're using more than one. If you're using a riser when you're doing this, like I am, you are adding about 15, depending on the algorithm. Like Ethereum Classic about 10, Ravencoin probably about 15 or more for the riser as well, because the Ravencoin pulls a lot more power. So we're gonna say for Ravencoin, let's pay 16.73 mega hash. We're gonna leave it at 64 watts plus 15 for the riser. So the 1660 to compare this to 1616 Ti does about 13.8 at 85 watts, if I can remember one of my videos correctly, plus the riser. So about at 100 watts, it's doing 13.5. So this is doing it about 20 to 30 watts less at 16.7. This card is amazing. I was a little discouraged earlier because I couldn't get it to run for what is it called, for Ravencoin, but after I did some research, Team Red Miner is the one that was supporting it. I tried to do it on G Miner, that didn't work, but I did get it to work on Team Red Miner, so that's good. Let's see down here. Let's pull this up a little bit. So next one we're gonna do is Ergo. Let's just finish Raven. 16.7. It's saying 64 watts in the AMD program and 64 in the actual mining program. This is amazing. I want more of these cards. We'll see if I can afford them. All right, let's close this and let's open Team Red Miner again. And we're just gonna switch it to Ergo. I know everybody likes Ergo, so let's get Ergo up and running. Let's see if it'll run for us. Generating out of Lycos table, connected. Okay, so we're gonna leave, I guess I'm just gonna leave all the same settings for these cards. frequency 700, max frequency 1500, voltage all the way down. It's all about being efficient to me. I don't care if I can run 1 or 2 more mega hash on something and take 20-30 watts. No, I want lower wattage. Doesn't matter if I lose 1 or 2 watts on it. So we're gonna be running all of that, and then the wattage that's gonna change for us, we'll see what it changes to. And then Ergo, we'll see what it does on Ergo. I'm assuming it's probably gonna do about 60 plus. 1616 Ti does 59 point something, if I can remember correctly. 1616 Super just over 60, I believe so. 1050 Ti does about, I think, 30 on it. 1615 Super does 40. That's all the cards I know. Now if you 3070s, 3080s, probably over 100, to be honest with you, but I like my lower cards. Let's see what it does here. It's giving us 51 watts. Okay. Wow, it's running lower than the Ethereum and Ethereum Classic on these settings. Wow. Okay. And it looks like it's giving us 64. I guess this is expected. Usually auto Lycos is just about double as the Ethereum is. So we're just going to let it run a little bit just to see if anything changes on it. But the power limit is even lower than Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. All right, now it dropped a little bit. 55.92. Not sure why. But I do have a lot of things open. Plus I have the team viewer that I'm using open. So I'm assuming it's just going to fluctuate a little bit because of that. I know when I do recording on a 1616 Ti, it drops from 31 almost to like 24, 23, 25 when I'm recording. So, okay, here we go. 64.22 for Ergo. All right, and the wattage is still 51 watts. And then I believe probably plus another 10 for the riser. So I think this is the most efficient so far is Ergo. What else does Team Red Miner have while we're here? What else? Word Hash, Nimic, Kapow, Ethereum, Ergo. I guess if you guys want to see any other coins tested on 6600 that you mine, let me know. I'll do my best to get those coins out there. But I think Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Raven, and Ergo, what mostly everybody is doing. So just to recap, stock on Ethereum was 28.48 mega hash and 90 watts. Max frequency 1400, voltage 762, VRAM 2300 minus 3 at 53 watts. We did 33.07 on this card, and it's running pretty cool. Ethereum Classic, we did 1500 on the max frequency. That's the only thing we changed. Running just a little bit more, about 3309 to 3315 at same wattage. Raven, 16.73. The only thing we changed was max frequency to 1500. And then Ergo that we did was 64.22 mega hash, and we upped the max frequency to 1500 at 51 watts. Alright guys, that's it for this test. If you have any other coins that you want me to do, let me know please. I will do my best. If you guys have any other questions on this cards, let me know. I hope I captured it as well on the camera so you guys can see it looks pretty cool. So ask the questions down there, hit the like button, subscribe, and as always guys, have a wonderful day.